Hello and welcome to my channel, Stitches with Love. My name is Elizabeth and this is where I share all about my knitting adventures, both on and off the needles. So if you're curious to see what we're going to talk about today, come along with me. Grab your cup of something cozy and we're going to look at what I got in the mail the last few days. So first, I'm drinking my usual black coffee, but I'm drinking it in my Rocky Mountain National Park cup. I don't remember which road trip this was from. It's been a few years, but we did that one when we went back to Colorado. It was a great trip. I like Rocky Mountain National Park. It was not my favorite. Yellowstone will forever and always be my favorite national park. But I've started collecting cups from where we've been just because it's kind of a fun thing to do. And why not? If I'm going to collect something, it might as well be a useful something. So it's still quite toasty. I've got my coffee and we're gonna just go ahead and dive right into this week's mail. So the first thing is yarn, and I do have more yarn and knitting items on the way, but I'll share those in a separate video because I'm not exactly sure when they're going to be getting here. I'm hoping very soon because I'm anxious to start working with them and to share them here. So this first item is yarn from Etsy. This is the color. Isn't that beautiful? It's kind of a creamy white with a really lovely deep purple by, I don't know how to say this word, so I'm just going to guess and say it's by Chappell, Admiral X Pro. Does any of that mean anything to you guys? I have no idea what this is. It's wool and looks like some kind of synthetic fiber. This is not a language that I can read. I don't think it's German. I don't know, but the yarn is beautiful, and that's why I bought it, because I thought this would make really beautiful socks for my beloved Alexander. So this is from an Etsy shop called Guy Finds Art, and they included this lovely little handwritten note here, and it says, "Thank you, Elizabeth, for your purchase. Please feel free to visit our other family e-commerce site, littleknits.com. I am sure you will find most must-have treasures. Best, Susan," Alex's mom. I believe Alex is the man who owns this Etsy shop from what I was looking at in his little description that he has. But anyway, it seems like it's going to be pretty decent, sturdy quality yarn. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Like I said, I saw the color, I thought it was beautiful, and it was not expensive. This was less than $15, and so I thought that was pretty decent for 100 grams of sock yarn, and it looks pretty sturdy. So we'll see how it works up as socks. The next two items I wanted to share that came in the mail this week are project bags. I'm sure that's very shocking. They will go live in this basket with all of my other project bags when they are not being used. Look at this. All of this is empty space that I can fill with new project bags. So these will live in here when not in use. The first one I want to show you is by Threadpool Designs. Got kind of a cool business card here. They are on Etsy. all of my project bags have been coming from Etsy shops because I really think it's important to support small businesses. I think that the craftsmanship tends to be higher quality, and if I'm going to invest money in something, something I'm going to use all the time, then I want to know that I'm not supporting this big corporation, but I'm supporting a smaller business and somebody who's really taking time to craft a quality item. So this is actually, I think it was advertised as a makeup bag, pencil pouch, something like that, but it is the perfect size for sock knitting. It's not very big, but it's very roomy inside. So this will have plenty of room to hold my yarn and my needles. And then it just zips right up. I can throw that into my bag and be on my way. If you can't tell very well, and it might be kind of hard to see on camera, but this is why, part of the reason I bought this bag is because they are dinosaur tacos. Isn't that hilarious? I love it. And there is a book, and I meant to look up the title so that I could share it here when I shared this bag. There is a children's book about dinosaur tacos, or a taco party, I think maybe it is. I'll have to look it up. It's a funny book, and my children, when they were very, very young, absolutely just fell apart when they read this book. They thought it was hilarious. So that's one of my new bags. And then it came with these very cute little stickers, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I thought about maybe putting them on a water cup. There's a little chicken, and he's got some rain boots and a raincoat. Perfect for our season. It's been kind of rainy here to start off the autumn. And then we have a puppy with a cowboy hat and a pumpkin. Woof, woof. Look how cute these are. I might just give these stickers to my children. My youngest son especially loves stickers, but they both like to put them on their water cups or my walls or anywhere stickers aren't supposed to be. But they're just fun. And who doesn't like stickers? Then we have a little ghost, and I think this is supposed to be a unicorn skeleton or something. I'm not really sure what this is. So that is from Threadpool Designs. And these are all today, for what I'm showing, these are American-made businesses. I do get some of my things from companies that are international, but they're still small businesses. And so I still like the idea of supporting those. This is a bag from Barley Pearls. I've been eyeing her bags for months because they're well made. They are the perfect size for small knitting projects. There's a little ring in here. You can keep stitch markers. Other notions, there are 2 pockets. Very, very roomy. And it's got a bit of a lining so that the needles are not going to poke through, which I really appreciate because sock knitting needles especially are very sharp. And they have a tendency to poke through fabric very easily. And so having something that's lined or a little bit thicker is, I wouldn't say essential, but it's very helpful when you're looking for a knitting bag. And then it's got a little loop here, too small to fit over my wrist, but you know, I can still hold it in my hand like this and carry it around. And again, the perfect size. I can just throw into my bag and be on my way. So Barley Pearls is the, oh my goodness, you can't really see that. Barley Pearls. She's on Etsy. Let's see, in Arkansas. But it really didn't take terribly long for any of these items to arrive. USPS can either go very quickly or it can take several days. It really just depends on several different factors, like anything else. And then another sweet little handwritten note that simply says, "Thank you," by Chris and Krista. I don't know. My light is really bright, so I don't think this is going to show up very well. But it's just a handwritten note that says thank you. And so I'm kind of a sucker for handwritten sentiments. I like that kind of thing, both giving and receiving. This little bag here, I think I'm going to use for Alex's new socks. And in this bag, I'm going to use my new Yarnable yarn color, which has not yet arrived, but it should be here any day. It has shipped, it's on its way, and I specifically wanted this bag to go with that yarn for that project, so that I can start my my own sort of self-imposed Sock of the Month club. Let me have some coffee before I explain that. I love coffee. And on a day like this, it's cozy. It's kind of dreary and gray, and it looks like it's going to start raining any moment. And I love it. I love days like this. It's autumn in Oregon. I'm so glad. So I'm going to start my own Sock of the Month club. I've wanted to join a Sock of the Month club for a while. And really, depending on which company you go with, they can either be very expensive or they can be a little less expensive, but maybe there's certain parameters, you know, maybe you have to use their patterns or yarn or whatever. And I decided I just didn't want to bother with any of that. So since I'm already buying yarn on a regular basis, I would rather do my own, and then I can take my time. So I was hoping to have the yarn in by today so I could start my October socks today. That's not going to happen, and that's fine. But when it comes in, I'm going to have my first Sock of the Month for my own Elizabeth Stitches with Love Sock of the Month club. And that is purely for my own entertainment purposes. It's, you know, I'm not going to do anything real special or real fancy. I probably won't even do anything real fancy for a pattern. It'll either be vanilla socks or vanilla bean socks, to keep things interesting. I haven't decided which I'm going to do with the yarn that's coming in. I've got a pretty good idea, but I think I want it to be a surprise. And I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, you know what? There is one more thing I wanted to show you, but I didn't grab it, so I'm going to go get it out of my bag and I'll be right back. Okay, there are actually two somethings I wanted to share. Something the first. So I have made some pretty decent progress on the second vanilla bean sock that I'm making right now. I think when I shared last time, I only had about that much on the needles. And now look, I have this much. I am officially halfway done with this sock. I'm at the gusset. It's not finished yet, but the heel turn is done. And then I'm working on the gusset stitches right now. I'm really pleased with how these are working up. If you missed the previous episode where I shared my progress, this is the other one. This is the finished sock. And this one is halfway done. So I'm excited to finish those and start wearing them, especially now that the weather is definitely turning definitely more autumny, and I mean, it's a good time to wear hand knit socks anytime, but definitely this time of year when it's cold and dreary and, you know, just kind of icky outside. I actually had my heat on today. My little space heater in my office is going right now because it was a little cool in here. And I just wanted things to be a little cozier, so I have my small heater on and my hot coffee. I wish I could just stay home and knit all day today, but at some point I am going to need to go to work, so I'll enjoy it while I can. The other thing I wanted to share with you is my newest one of my new projects. I actually casted on another one this morning, but I'm not ready to share it yet. But in addition to doing a sock of the month, I thought it would also be kind of fun to do another autumny sort of project. And I don't know if I'm going to do this every month in addition to socks, but for sure I wanted to do it this month because I found this yarn that I was originally going to use for socks, and then I found a shawl pattern and I just thought it was really beautiful. So this is actually it'll go this way. So you start here and then you make your increases and then you work your border all at the same time, so it's not a border you pick up and do later. Isn't that beautiful though? It's so lovely. Super autumny. So I've made good progress on that too. I think this will probably be done by the end of October. But we'll see. You know, I knit in the pockets of time that I have, and some days I have extra pockets of time and other days I don't. And so that's okay. Honestly, I don't really have deadlines for most of my projects. And this one is just for myself, so I'm not really super in a hurry to get it done. Although I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks it will be, just because I'm so anxious to start wearing it. I think that really is all that I have today. I'm going to finish my coffee. I am going to go work a little bit on my Bible study lesson, and after that, I don't know. There are laundry and dishes that need to be done, but we'll do it, whatever I can do when before I go to work. So that's all I have. Until next time, when I will hopefully have more yarn mail to share with you. Happy knitting and have a blessed day. Bye.